You know, baseball is an international sport, and I guess all the great old-timers like Ruth, Gehrig, Cobb, Hubble, and 100 others have had their names mentioned at one time or another in most any home in the world where people are interested in sports. Lots of great players never get mentioned, though, because there have been some pretty fast guys who just never got up into the big time, and so most folks never get to hear about them. I don't mean they couldn't make the grade. Some of them were headed for the Hall of Fame, but were stopped short by injuries or other bad breaks. Choo-Choo Porter was like that. He got the nickname of Choo-Choo because people who saw him play claimed that he put him down the middle just like Walter Johnson, the big train of baseball fame. An injury stopped Choo-Choo on his way up to the major leagues, and I'll tell you about it as soon as we've heard from our announcer. Well, Choo-Choo Porter was burning up the Midland League back in 1936, and a couple of scouts spotted him, tried to sign him up, go to some good farm team where the major leagues try to cultivate young ball players and bring them along to the big teams. Choo-Choo wouldn't go for that. No farm team for him. Nah, nothing doing, he told the scouts. This is my first and last shot outside the big league stadium. I've spent all my life behind a barn throwing any kind of ball I get my hands on. Some big team will take me, but they'll take me right from here. Choo-Choo was pretty fresh about it. He was exactly 19 years old. As he'd said every minute of his life since he was a child, he'd been aimed towards as being a professional ball player. He went into the Midland League as soon as he graduated from high school. Well, the scouts laughed at him. You know, just another punk, they said. But they came up to watch him play pretty often, and that was really a sight to watch. The kid was a born ball player. He was tall, with a big, powerful frame, and when he threw a ball, he went way back with a full, easy motion, gathered speed as he straightened up and let the ball go and made it go just where he wanted it to go at a speed that was dazzling. But that wasn't all. He could hit, too. Sharp liner, long ball, and he knew how to place them whenever a fielder made the mistake of playing too deep or too short. Despite his size, the kid could move around on his pins, too. Cover a bag or field a bunt as smoothly as the best moundsman in the business. Scouts thought he was too fresh, but they never had the pleasure of seeing him punctured, no matter how many times they saw him play. In the Midland League, all betting was off when Choo-Choo Porter was pitching. There was only one way for the game to go. He'd win it. The season wound up and Choo-Choo had a batting average of well over 400 and a fielding average of 994, and he'd won every single one of his 28 games. Sensational record. Of the 28 games, he had 13 shutouts to his credit. 3 times he'd struck out more than 15 men in one game, and his earned run average was so low that nobody ever bothered to count it. Maybe the scouts should have signed Choo-Choo right then and there, but they didn't. Kid looked great, sure, but this was the Midland League, Class C. It might just be a bad crop all around and made him look good. If they signed him up or even recommended it before the kid had worked his way through the farm system, well, he might fall flat on his face in faster company and put him on the spot. They took one more crack at him, though, each one of them collaring him separately, but Choo-Choo's answer didn't change. I'm not buying any stopover tickets, he said. I go straight through or I don't go. I'm a ball player, and you're never going to find a better one. Well, scouts all took the same tack. Each one handed him a card and said, all right, kid, take this, and if you ever change your mind, look me up. Choo-Choo didn't change his mind, though. When a few months had gone by and time rolled around for ball players to head south for spring training, before the new season, one of the scouts decided to take one more crack at Choo-Choo. He had a feeling about the kid. And besides, his team stood a fair chance to cop the pennant, and the season coming up and a strong pitcher could hit would be, well, just about make it a cinch. Can't sign you up, Choo-Choo, he said. You can't prove anything in the Midland League, but if you really think you can cut it with the big boys on our team, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll pay your expenses at the training camp, round trip. We don't make a deal, and then you can show us what you've got. Choo-Choo looked at him. Well, okay, you got a deal. I'll make those bums think they got holes in their bats. They won't even see the ball. Well, Choo-Choo's attitude didn't make him very many friends when he joined the other players at the training camp. He needed some discipline, too. And the manager had to give it to him. He wouldn't let Choo-Choo pitch to the batters. He let him warm up every day, but he made him take it easy. As soon as Choo-Choo started to burn him a little, he'd be sent to the showers. In a week or so, Choo-Choo learned to obey. He was kind of sullen about it, but he pitched the way he was told. It went that way for a while, and then one day the manager came over behind him as he was warming up and said, all right, Choo-Choo, let's see what you got. And Choo-Choo showed him. Catcher held his glove wherever he wanted the ball, and Choo-Choo laid it in there as though he controlled it by radar. The manager's eyebrows went up a little, but he didn't let Choo-Choo see that. The kid had speed and control and a curve that broke like a bullet ricocheting off a rock. Okay, the manager said. That's enough for now. Turned and walked away, and Choo-Choo looked after him. Choo-Choo's face was just a little bit puzzled. He turned back to the catcher. Catcher walked past him. Not bad, he said. Casually, for the first time, Choo-Choo wasn't so sure of himself. These guys didn't seem to be impressed. Maybe the Midland League had been a pushover after all. Maybe he should have gone to a farm team. Choo-Choo needed to be taken down a little, so it was a good thing he didn't hear the conversation between the manager and the catcher when they met in the clubhouse. Well, the manager said, what do you think? Catcher was rubbing the fingers of his gloved hand. What do I think? He said. You kidding? He made my hand numb with the first fast one. Oh, that kid's another Walter Johnson, another Alexander. Those fans weren't fooling when they named him Choo-Choo. Manager nodded. I know, he said, but he's got to wear a smaller hat before he belongs in this team. Good arm can win a pennant, but a big head can spread up the team and lose it for us. Wasn't so sure of himself. I'm going to knock his ego down a little. I'm going to send him to a farm team whether he likes it or not. We can bring him up later in the season when the going gets rough. Then maybe he'll be too relieved and too grateful to play the big shot. Well, it worked. They let Choo-Choo take batting practice, and he proved he could hit, but the manager would never let him pitch to a batter. You got a long way to go, kid, he'd say. I don't want to throw you in a practice game and then have break your heart. You wouldn't last 2 innings. By the time the manager suggested a farm team, Choo-Choo was ready to do anything. He went, and he was meek about it, too. The farm team was in a Class A league. It wasn't the Midland League, but Choo-Choo had the stuff. He won 4 games in a row, and he got to be a wise guy again. The manager of the farm club was told to be tough with him, and he was. Choo-Choo showed up late for practice one day, and he was fined. He got abusive, and the manager told him to get off the field. Choo-Choo left. He was mad. They weren't going to push him around like that. He got on a train and went back to the Midland League. He couldn't play for his old team, but they started their season a little late, and he wanted to get rid of some steam in a practice game. That was the end of his career. He hit a hard single, tried to stretch it for 2 bags, and when he slid into second, he knocked the second baseman over, and the second baseman's spikes ripped into the muscles of Choo-Choo's pitching arm. Nothing the doctors could do about it. Oh, they fixed the arm up all right. So far as baseball was concerned, no more. The arm would never be the same. Things changed for Choo-Choo after that. He wasn't a big shot anymore. He went to Midland League games as a spectator, and after a while, he was just another one of the crowd. Nobody cheered for him. Never heard his name shouted across the field. Everybody forgot, except one person, a girl. She'd been in love with Choo-Choo for a long time, but he never noticed her. Her name was Marie. Oh, don't feel so badly, Choo-Choo, Marie said. A man like you can do lots of things. Choo-Choo was bitter, though. Yeah? Like what? He asked her. Being an umpire? Sweeping off the home plate with a whisk broom? Marie shook her head. No. Baseball isn't the only thing in the world. Get another job. You'll have a wife and a family someday. Think about that. Well, Choo-Choo came around slowly, but he came around. He went to work in the laundry, taking charge of the delivery trucks. He did pretty well at it. Wasn't happy, though. He missed the diamond. Baseball was too close to his heart, and whenever he had a day off, Marie would know where to find him. Out in the far end of the bleachers. Not close to the crowd, but off by himself where he could watch the game and keep people from seeing his face and the intense desire in it. The desire to get down there and be a part of the game again. Choo-Choo and Marie went out into the country for a picnic one day. Well, there was no game scheduled, but that didn't get his mind off playing. He wandered away for a while, and when Marie went to look for him, she found him tossing rocks at a stump. She watched him for a while. He knew she was there, and finally turned around and looked at her. Say, he said, you know, I still got my control. No zip, though. Any 200 hitter could break fences with the best ball I could throw. Marie saw him like that many times, throwing things, hitting his target right on the nose. She saw him try something else, too. He tried pitching with the arm, and it hadn't been injured. But he wasn't ambidextrous. It was no good. At the end of the year, he could throw no better with it than he had when he started. Well, there was nothing for Choo-Choo to hope for after that. He stopped throwing things around. He tried to take more of an interest in his work and other things around him, but he kept right on being miserable. Then the turning point came. A carnival came to town, and Marie talked Choo Choo into going. It was one of those games, you know, where you pay a dime for 3 baseballs, and if you knock $3 off a shelf, you get a prize. That game changed Choo Choo's whole life, and I'll tell you about it as soon as we've heard from our announcer. At the carnival, Choo Choo and Marie stopped to watch a couple of kids throw baseballs at the dolls. They missed it. It was their last dime. "Oh, gee," one of the kids said. "Nobody can hit them things. And I wanted to win that doll for my sister." Choo Choo didn't know why he did it, but he stepped up. "I'll get you that doll, kid," he said. He put his dime down, and with perfect control, he picked off the $3. No speed, just control. The kids looked at him. "Gee, I wish I could throw like that." Choo Choo grinned. "Do you? Come on over to my house tomorrow, and I'll show you how." And that was the beginning of a new life for Choo Choo. Every Saturday, spring or summer, for the past 10 years, the backyard of his house is filled with kids who want to learn how to pitch. As a matter of fact, one of Choo Choo's boys burned up the Midland League last season, and he's a cinch to go to the Major League farm team soon. Choo Choo and Marie are married now. They have a couple of tiny big leaguers of their own. One is 6 years old, and he can hit quite a ball, although he can't pitch. Smallest one is 3, and he's broken a couple of windows around the house so far, and Choo Choo and Marie are sure that he's a cinch for the Yanks once he learns to control the ball. Pat O'Brien saying goodbye, and God bless you.